So, joyful John. For the people that are watching, we just had a morning session of Hosted Transform to give you an experience how to unlock potential of other people in 20 minutes and how also to empower yourself. Just very overall question. Maybe first, what do you do and why do you do what you do? So people can kind of know who is John in a brief moment.
I want to create a healthy environment. I'm doing that in the co-creation process, a citizen initiative. Currently, the Living Lab is Eindhoven, which is focusing on air quality, lifestyle and health. And so I'm in a process of hosting actually the four dimensions, like government, scientists and education, the citizens of Eindhoven in this case, and the entrepreneurs.
Wow, diverse crowd. Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. So it was for me also because of host in the toolkit. So that was my trigger. Okay, I have to be here.
And why is host a trigger for you?
Because we have a name for what we are doing, the philosophy, sustainocracy, and the person who is actually the chairman in this hall is a sustainocrat.
Okay.
But I felt there is something else. What is it exactly what I'm doing? And then I came about a video of Jan Gunnarsson from Sweden, who has talked about hostmanship, and that felt like that's the glove I'm fitting in.
Yeah.
And so it is about hosting, the safety, welcoming people. That they are allowed to be themselves, and that's very important for me. But I also lacked some hands-on how to create this environment in a larger setting. One-on-one is no problem, or few. But if you have 10, 20, 30, then it's more difficult. So that's why I thought, okay, maybe it's hosted toolkit that I can get information or experiences that I can implement.
Nice. So during today's session you have experienced like several exercises that are about unlocking human energy, openness to engage with people that you've never met before, from diverse sectors and cultures, work cultures, and also for them to create some likability to share information, network, skills without feeling any competition or fear or judgment. Do you feel that after today and when you have the toolkit, in your mailbox, comfortable to play with that, to apply it in this hosting context that you would love to create?
Yes, I feel that it is possible because I also experienced it and the value of it. That even simple things like the first exercise, that you see what is staggering in the flow, what is that is important, that you feel your body, that you be in the now, and not about thinking what's the next step.
Yeah.
And so just what is, that's okay, and work with that. And so I think I can use it and can implement it also. And it feels good, so that's a very important trigger for me.
Yeah, so it fits your maybe even your purpose, like how you wanna work, or how you wanna create this safe haven that you already mentioned. It's a safe place for people.
How create it, but also what I see in the co-creation sessions now, it's more mental, like brainstorms and post-its and things like that. And I felt, and I get also feedback from people who are creative, I don't feel it. So engaging with your body and everything, energizing, and also the openness and shared resources that everybody can contribute to something, even if it is a network connection or whatever. That is something that we lack at this moment in our brainstorm sessions. So we can more balance it out by putting these things in.
Yeah, so you feel there's a sense even if people are in a creative setting, that people can still rationalize things.
Yeah, that's okay. But
and then they can still rationalize. However, if the link with how they really feel it, if there's really energy behind this, as they call it, really feeling, it's also when if you have a little task for yourself, what you have to do, is the energy behind it, or is it really like, I have to do this? Yeah. And I think those things are really essential too, to really embody that energy and to make people intrinsically motivated to really walk with what they just have created, then leave it to be a post-it, on a wall that looks pretty or creative, but has nothing to do with mobilizing.
But it's a way of coping with the process, but I think it can be more balanced, and I think hosts can help in this.
To balance those rational skills with the more flow skills.
Right and left brain.
Right and left brain, divided brains. Okay, so I'm also curious about how did you get involved in this work, what you do? Can you connect the dots, or without making it a very long story?
I try to keep it short, but
your premise, your story.
I'm self-employed and for about 10 years now, 8 or 10 years.
How would you call yourself as a profile? Do you have are you?
Yeah, it's more like in the organization expertise. Actually, it's balancing out technology, process, and people. So it is also interactive, because if you do something in technology, you have to do something in process after that. Yeah. And if you process, you have to do something with the people, and vice versa. Yeah. So that is what I started, and now I felt for 1 or 2 years. What I was doing was not working for me anymore. Also, my awareness was different, self-awareness, and I came into contact with Jean-Paul Closer, whose initiative is the cooperation what they are working in now in Eindhoven.
Is that the sustainocracy?
Yes. He has written a book of sustainocracy, the philosophy, and so I get a contact because I always wrote him for his birthday, for happy birthday, and he proposed to have a cup of coffee. But 3 months later, actually, I should contact Jean-Paul and drink that cup of coffee. And we had a conversation about areas, which is about air quality, lifestyle, and health. It's the cooperation. And he invited me to do the same thing in my hometown in Best. Okay, I think about it. 2 weeks later, he mailed me, there's a position open in the core team of areas in Eindhoven.
Ah, nice.
And you fit the profile, independent and knowledge of ICT. I said, okay, I had 1 day and said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump on the riding train.
Yes, nice.
And since then I get
Law
involved
of attraction.
Yeah. So that was the start about this 1.5 year ago.
Ah, nice. Yeah. And what was that? What was not fitting you anymore? What's the element that is there right now that you feel that you resonate with what you're doing?
I was always called on my expertise, telecommunications and connecting in that sense, and I got my projects from the network, and that stopped. But I also felt not so engaged anymore to use my former expertise. I wanted to put my personal talents, my core qualities, and they are different. It's more like hosting. It's something different and a different side.
Beautiful combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people think these are like opposites, or you cannot combine them, but
So connection is actually a wet set to everything. Yeah. But I didn't want to be connected on my expertise first, but who I am. Yeah. And my core qualities.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also that we tapped into today, right? After
absolutely.
the break, that first, maybe you can explain how it was for you, how we kind of proceeded that to tap into your talents first before you're profiled as your profile.
Yeah, because if you say, why do you do what you do, then you get to a core level. What is your passion, or what is the purpose that you see for yourself now? And that is not about the role or the function that you have in a business or whatever. And that is all about what do you see yourself and not what is another seeing what you are doing or how you are or what you are. So we tapped into that and to also drill down what's beneath that. What are your limiting beliefs that you are not doing yet? What you think you want to create? What do you want to create, and what is stopping you?
Yeah.
So also that is just getting more to the course, and also play with it, but also hear other people's stories and see, oh, there are similarities. Oh, I'm not alone with certain things.
Yeah.
And it's also that.
Yeah. Beautiful. And when we kickstarted the session, you also mentioned something that, I mean, if I repeat you correctly, that unlocking the potential of others is not sufficient in that sense, that you should also empower yourself, unlock your potential. And what did you actually mean? How can you describe it in your own words, or how have you experienced it so far?
That looking at the empowering others, something I did my whole life from childhood, to take responsibility and take care of many things. But now I feel also, if I not step in and give the example of leadership, then nobody will do the same.
Yeah.
And be their own leader. So they need an example. Okay, it is possible. It's not something that they have to be invited to. I can make that intrinsic motivation to take that step.
Yeah.
And it is not leader to be above the group, but within the group take your own place. So this is who I am.
Yeah.
And that is what was lacking, so I could support others and see them flash in real life, and that gives me a lot of energy, like an X factor, that you don't expect something to have a fantastic voice or whatever, and think, wow, and but it's also something you can do for yourself, and also celebrate your successes. That's one of the things that I take with me from this session. It is I do that not that often, or even never, and it's well important to stay motivated why I'm doing this.
Yeah, and I also I believe everything is energy, you know, and if you kind of live and live what you say, what you believe in, people will sense that. And if you kind of practice that everyone should be, you know, loving themselves and empowering themselves and they're good enough, and meanwhile you're kind of harsh towards yourself and you have to do all these things, being maybe perfectionist. I'm not saying it's you, but just in general, what you see a lot in these sessions is that it's always an eye-opener that for people that I'm afraid to ask help, to admit that I do not know something or I need an extra resource. And that can be really empowering if you turn it around. If people ask you, how can I help you? You actually empower yourself too, because it's nice when you can help someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the same time. So, if people have never heard of Host and Swarm and this session that you just joined, what would you tell them? Like, hey, why should we join? John? Joyful John?
It is all about enjoying yourself and this thing, and give yourself a present to actually experience what the potential is that you actually have. And if you see that in yourself, then you have also noticed something that you can give to others too. But it starts with yourself first, and that is what most people, I've seen, me included, that we started on the outside. But we have
others.
to start in the inside, and this is something that is looking in your inner potential on several levels, and combined that gives a better sense of what you can do. And if you believe it by experience, you can also give it to other people.
Nice. So we will hear from you how those sessions resonate with your work context, which is entrepreneurs, IT people,
government, scientists,
so
and
really
citizens.
really multi-governance and across sectors and cultures even. Perfectly. Wow, that's we've tested it. It's triggering on a human-centered level. So I'm very curious how it will resonate, and I hope I hear from you.
I will.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.